Hello, it's SpectrumDominus, and I'm here to do my 2016 NXT Takeover Brooklyn predictions. Now, I'm aware it's late in the game. By the time I have this recorded and posted, Brooklyn will probably be over. However, I wanted to get it down on video for my viewers so that I can get it out there before I turn on NXT Takeover, just to see what we come up with. I've watched all of the shows, but I haven't really taken a look at what is going to happen. I haven't really thought about the matches, so I will be doing this on the spot as I look at the lists. Like I normally do, I'm going to be using the Wikipedia list to tell me what the card is. I know of 5 matches for TakeOver. I have 2 more matches listed on the Wikipedia that I did not know about. So I will be going through all 8 matches. This is going to be a short video with a little bit of idea what's going on, because I also want to record my Summerslam predictions, which will be up right after this one, and we'll at that point I'll be able to watch NXT Takeover Brooklyn. So the first 2 matches that they have listed as pre-show matches or advanced matches are the first one is Wesley Blake versus Ty Dillinger. I believe that this is usually with the pre-show matches, I feel like there's not much to them, but they're kind of obvious. And it's the same thing with this. To me, Wesley Blake is, for right now, an NXT jobber. Ty Dillinger is also an NXT jobber for bigger people. You bring in a Bobby Roode and then you have him beat Ty Dillinger. You bring in an Austin Aries and you have him beat Ty Dillinger. You bring in anyone like that and they beat Ty Dillinger. So it's someone to bump the bigger names. But someone like that needs to win every once in a while to make him worth beating. Not to mention that the fans have already gotten so behind. He is so over, Ty Dillinger, that you kind of have to throw him a bone every once in a while. I hope this is the start of a push. I expect Ty Dillinger to beat Wesley Blake in this match. The second match that they have listed for the pre-show is the Authors of Pain versus TM61. Now, I've only seen this TM61 a couple times on the show. I know that they're an independent team that was brought in, and they used to be called something else 61, and that was because DK maybe, I think it is, and it's for Denmark 61, and 61 is some code, postal code, or something like that. It's like saying the 613. That's where they started from. I didn't do enough research. I think I did when I saw him for the first time to see what TM was for. I don't remember. I know that the name, I think, is stupid. I also think that this team is our current Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They came in to big fanfare, but like Gargano and Ciampa, they're going to lose for a while to the top guys. And then as people like the Authors of Pain and Revival get shifted over to the main roster, then TM61 will be tag team champions, or at least in the hunt, while new young tag teams are put in. So the Authors of Pain are giving them a loss right now would be ridiculous. There's no reason to do that. Authors of Pain should win this hands down, no problem. The next thing they have listed is Ember Moon versus Billy Kay. Ember Moon is a new female starting tonight. The female roster is very thin. It was actually already thin before the draft, and then bringing up Carmella, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, and Eva Marie really made it to where all that was left was Asuka and Bayley. Now, they've done a decent job over the last 3 weeks of showing us Billy Kay and Liv Morgan, and just this past week we got Mandy Rose, I think they're calling her last name instead of Sachs, but Mandy Rose, and I still haven't learned the other one's name. So they're showing us some of the women. They're showing we have women, we just haven't shown them to you yet. So that's good. But I don't expect them to bring in Ember Moon with a video package and she has a look and a character and they're trying to build this. I think that she instantly jumps into the third woman on the roster slot. It's going to be Asuka, Bayley until Bayley comes up, and Ember Moon will be the number 3. and from there, the rest will be you guys, ladies, fight it out and see what takes. See who people get behind. See who can pull that performance and make people love them. So from this, Ember Moon's easily going to go over Billie Kay, in my opinion. Those are the three obvious. This is how it has to go. I mean, there's no reason for it not to go that way. The final 5 matches, starting from the bottom of importance, I'm going to say Austin Aries versus No Way Jose. Now, this is where I start to get... NXT has become, and I've said this statement before in a video on the other channel, NXT has become, I called it TNA Light, and then I quickly changed to TNA Heavy. It's TNA, the best of TNA, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode. The best of TNA, Eric Young hopefully will be back. I've heard rumors that James Storm may be coming back as soon as he's done. So, the best of TNA with other people and with the door opening to the main roster. It's like the best of TNA and bringing over the best from New Japan. And so I like this, and it's one of the reasons I have trouble keeping up with TNA. TNA is down to 2 people for me. I watch it for EC3 and Drew Galloway. The rest of it, I still watch, but I force myself to watch because everyone I love, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, they're all in NXT now. So I'm very happy about that. And I feel like to management, to the ownership, there's a certain level of keep those type of stars happy. Even if some of the other ones are younger, it's okay for No Way Jose to lose to Austin Aries. Austin Aries can't look like a chump losing all of his matches. So this is a case where you put him against a new guy. No Way Jose may pan out later, may not. Personally, I don't think he's going to. I think that if he comes up to the main roster, he's going to be Adam Rose. He's going to be a guy who dances around. I don't think Vince McMahon's going to like him. So I think he loses here, and maybe somewhere down the road, he becomes more of a player in NXT. But as long as they keep bringing in people like Aries and Roode and people like that, they're going to continue to jump people like No Way Jose. And No Way Jose, until they put a mid-card title on NXT, which they may never do, I really believe they need like a television title or something like that, because you need to put that on people like No Way Jose and Andres Almas and those people, because I don't see them getting the NXT world title at any point, especially while we're bringing in all these indie darlings. So Aries takes that win, in my opinion. The next one would then be, I guess, Bobby Roode versus Almas, because the other ones are all title matches. I find this to be more important than most of the remaining matches. But just like with Austin Aries, you cannot have Bobby Roode come in with his glorious theme and the way you did it. Now, yes, you're giving him an opponent that I believe is still undefeated at least on NXT television. I don't know if he's lost anywhere else, but I believe he's undefeated. But they both are, and Bobby Roode, just like Almas, is with No Way Jose. Almas maybe is a mid-card guy on the NXT level. He's never going to be a world guy as long as the indie darlings are there. And he's considered an indie darling, but he's not getting the same reaction. They took his mask off. His ring stuff is fine, but he doesn't even speak English. They have him speak in Spanish and then put subtitles. So he's not going to get over in the same way. This is a Bobby Roode match. He wins. He stands glorious in the ring. He is, if Shinsuke Nakamura wins the title, he is Nakamura's next challenger once Joe's done with him. That's they've already got that set up. If not, they may have it where it's they may go with a multiple man match and have Bobby Roode win it, something like that. Even if Joe holds on to the title, it may end up being at some point Joe, Nakamura, Roode wins, gets it off of a heel, but there's a good face in the match, and then Nakamura goes up. So Roode is the next champion, and if he's the next champion, then Nakamura is just if he's not the next, it's because Nakamura is a transitional champion for him. So Roode wins that. So the final 3 are all the championship matches. You got the Revival versus Gargano and Ciampa. I feel I don't know, because we haven't seen the Revival since they've won the match. They've done a couple interview things, but I think they fought one match versus TM61 since then. We haven't seen them wrestling. I feel like if they lose the title now, it's bad. They just got him back. They haven't wrestled since they got him back. You can't take that title away from it in their first title defense. So I feel like they've got to let the Revival take this. More importantly, with the friction that went on with the Cruiserweight Classic and with them playing it doesn't matter that we fought against each other, we're friends to the end and we'll do this, and playing that card, I almost feel like a Ciampa heel turn is going to happen during this match, leading up to a Ciampa versus Gargano going forward, and Revival retains the belts and holds on to them for a while. That being said, if they don't, there isn't another face tag team that can take those belts off of Revival for a while. They would have to go to Authors of Pain, and for that to happen, you do need a transitional champion. So I don't see a problem with giving it to Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano just to transition it to Authors of Pain. But if you do that, you almost got to bring the Revival up. So that's a little sticky situation. I'm interested to see where they go. To me, that's the one that's the most question mark of the night, is the Revival versus Gargano and Ciampa. I'd like to see it go to my favorite option would give it to Gargano and Ciampa, bring the Revival up. I like the Revival. I very much like the Revival. I'd love to see them on television, especially if you bring them up to SmackDown, strengthen that SmackDown tag team division, make that sixth tag team the Revival instead of that sixth tag team, the Hype Bros. Theoretically, Raw probably could use them more, because I feel like from top to bottom from the SmackDown tag team division, and I'm talking outside, so let's get over this, but outside the SmackDown tag team division from top to bottom is more balanced than the Raw. Raw is New Day, Enzo and Kaz, and Anderson and Gallows. And then there's this big slice, and then you got Golden Truth and the Shining Stars and Dudley Boys and nothing that matters. So I think that they'd actually work better on Raw based on the strength of the division and their fighting style. That being said, I also feel like after the shininess runs off or wears off of them, they'd get lost in the shuffle with those better tag teams. Now, there's a chance that New Day may break up soon. It looks like at some point they're going to want to break up Enzo and Kaz and make Kaz a singles guy. So maybe you need that depth on Raw. We'll see what happens. So after that, it's Bayley versus Asuka. I don't see any way Bayley can win this match. And that makes me sad because I don't like Asuka. You all know I don't like Asuka. I feel she is a horrible wrestler, and I don't mean that she's not good in the ring. But we've talked about this many times. A wrestler in the professional wrestling scene is someone that can talk and sell merchandise and wrestle. And I mean, wrestling is like the third or fourth most important thing. The crowd reaction, which she has a good crowd reaction, so that's something. But her ability to talk, her ability to sell merchandise, and her merchandise is pretty decent too. So she deserves the title. I'm not saying she doesn't, because she does enough of the stuff. But her on the mic, having to, I mean, when she grabbed that mic and said, "Bayley, you're not good enough," and I'm just like, I can't do this. I need you to learn to talk. I need you to learn to talk. And that's my problem with Shinsuke. So I'd love to see this come off Bayley. I think no woman deserves to be the first NXT two-time champion more than Bayley. So I'd love to see that happen. If they put it on Bayley, they're highly likely to not bring Bayley up anytime soon. And I feel like they will. So this seems like an Asuka win to me. Or a something screwy happens. I don't know, but Asuka retains the title. And then the final match is the championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura challenges Samoa Joe for the championship. I believe that Joe has to win this match. I'm not sure that's what's going to happen. There are several matches like this on SummerSlam. This should happen, but they're going to go the other route. Samoa Joe needs to win this match. Shinsuke Nakamura, if they're going to bring him up, never needs to hold the title. Shinsuke Nakamura never needs to hold the title. I don't like Shinsuke, so I may be biased, but I much prefer Joe. Now, granted, they're all heels right now, but Joe, Aries, Rude. I love those people, and yes, it's TNA, but I love those people at the top of the card. Shinsuke, I don't like him holding the belt saying, I am best. You try beat me. I just learn to talk. Learn to talk. I hate it. And I at least appreciate that he's kind of developed his character around the fact that he can't talk. He acts so weird and creepy almost, and it's off-putting to me. But he almost goes like William Shatner in his talking because he can't talk, and at least he's making an effort to be aware that he can't talk and then turn it into something. But it does not work well for me. He will not work well on the main roster. He is at best a mid-card level champion. I do not see him ever holding a world belt. They may, when he come in, give him a world belt push at some point right off the bat, and then have him lose and fall to the mid-card. But he's never going to be a main eventer full-time in WWE. And like that, he can be a main eventer on NXT, but he's not going to be a full-time champion. If he wins the belt here, it's literally to transition it before moving him up. He's like 40-something years old. He's not going to be on NXT long. They're going to bring him up. So even if it's Joe cheats, even if it's someone else, Nakamura pisses off Rude backstage or something like that earlier in the night, and then Rude comes out and screws Nakamura to set up Nakamura Rude, something like that. I don't see Nakamura walking out with a title. I may be wrong. But if you guys like this video, make sure you click like, click subscribe to see more videos, including my Summerslam predictions for tomorrow night, which should be going up later tonight. I'll put that link in the description, and I'll put this link in the Summerslam description. If you'd like to see me predict or hear my opinions on any wrestling topic, leave it in the comments, and I will do a little video, even if it's a 3 or 4 minute video, just to answer your questions. And make sure you follow me here and on More on Wrestling, where we do box openings, and me and my brother Vinny, we do more comedic videos on the state of the WWE, and we do our own prediction shows, and it's less straightforward on what we're doing and more comedic. So check us out there. I'm SpectrumDominus, and I'll see you next time.